Yitzchak Mordechai held practically every possible role he could in the Israeli army and security establishment. He is the only officer to head 3 IDF commands, went on to be the defense minister, and participated in endless wars and operations, but none had a bigger impact on him than what he experienced in mid-October 1973.
No battles even close to what I went through in the Chinese farm. It cost us a very heavy price, but it allowed the IDF to continue with the operation to cross the Suez Canal.
The Chinese farm was an agricultural compound on the east bank of the Suez Canal. It was conquered by the Egyptian army on the first day of the Yom Kippur War. The Egyptians knew very well the IDF would try to recapture the compound since it sat on the main road leading to the strategic Suez Canal. The recapture attempt eventually came 9 days into the war, following a bloody and unsuccessful battle which cost the lives of more than 120 IDF soldiers. The 890th Paratrooper Battalion was called in.
We were told that this is the most important task. If we're able to clear the road from anti-tank squads, the crossing will continue. If we don't do it, the whole crossing operation will stop.
The crossing operation was the attempt to place Israeli forces on the Egyptian side of the Suez Canal, a move seen as the game changer of the war. A small IDF force consisting of 2 paratrooper battalions and 28 tanks was able to cross, but the concern was they would be surrounded and killed unless a much bigger force reinforced them. For that to happen, the roads leading to the canal passing by the Chinese farm needed to be cleared.
We were told that there are anti-tank squads on the road and we have to eliminate them and reach the Suez Canal.
They knew about the anti-tank squads, but they never got the intelligence about those squads being only part of a massive division-sized force waiting for them.
The Egyptians were entrenched there for 10 days and fought very hard to make sure our forces cannot travel on the roads. At first, we were facing fire from rifles, then from tanks, and then heavy artillery.
Greatly outnumbered, the 890th Paratrooper Battalion suffered heavy casualties and lost most of its command chain. 41 of its soldiers were killed and more than 100 injured, while the Chinese farm was still in Egyptian hands. Only on the following day, and as the Egyptians withdrew due to their heavy losses, was the compound finally taken. The price paid was huge, but the Egyptian forces were kept busy fighting for the Chinese farm and not looking for the Israeli forces using this time to cross into Egypt.
Without our fight there, I don't believe the roads to the canal would have been opened. Without this fight, the forces already in Egypt could not be reinforced and possibly would have to be returned.
Mordechai himself was decorated with the Medal of Courage, Israel's second highest military medal, for his performance under fire at the Chinese farm. That battle remained a very strong memory, even many years later, when Egypt was no longer an enemy, but an ally.
When I was a defense minister, in my second meeting with Mubarak, he told me that he had brought my friend. He was referring to General Tantawi, the Egyptian Minister of Defense. We looked at the aerial photograph from that battle, and he said that he was also fighting there. We fought each other, and he said that they also felt that this is a critical battle, and were sure that they were going to die. We then hugged each other and realized we have to do everything in our power to prevent another war. He was also the first one to congratulate me when my son was born shortly after.
If there is a lesson here, it is probably this one. Those who have seen the horrors of war must do everything possible to make sure it doesn't happen again.